Thank you, time. Thank you, space. I trust that we are all in the right place. I'm grateful for this real talk, unfiltered stream of consciousness conversation. And here we are again on the last day of the month. And I'm grateful for this podcast for a variety of reasons. However, one of the most predominant is the groundedness it gives me in time and space. In that each month that goes by, on the last day of the month, it reminds me that we're here again. And that each month was filled with so much action and activities and excitement that the recordings and documentations weren't always consistent. Yet one thing that I'm noticing that is consistent is my last day of the month reflections. So if nothing else, this podcast has been amazing for that alone. In addition to creating a platform to interview such fascinating people and reflect back on those conversations and dialogues that we've had together in community, I look forward to what it will bring in the future. And I just appreciate the fact that I have this space in the internet and it's worth every penny because it's something that's now there. And when we think about digital storage and how we store our most valuable files and things, it's always evolving. And one of the more popular storage platforms is the cloud. And from this, innovative internet perspective, how do we know that it's saved properly? How do we access it if we lose our logins, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Questions that come to mind from trying to set this up firsthand. So that's something that's come to mind, and I received a beautiful gift from my birthday from a special loved one of a 1 terabyte physical hard drive. And it was such a gift to have this virtual space. It's so much space. It's so exciting. So I started filling it up methodically and very intentionally and having folders of really important things to me that I want to keep in this sacred digital space. So I've been really conscious about how I'm using that physical hard drive. But there's also small things like flash drives on the go, and then our digital drives like Google Drive, Dropbox, etc. But it's so interesting because they give you a little bit of free space and then you have to pay for it. And I've had many instances where I'll use things and they're not backed up properly, and then losing these very important documents that we've spent so much time and heartache on is so sad. So I continue to expand my comfort zone as to how and when and why to use these different methods of storage. So if there's anything that has been super supportive to you on your journey, I'd love to learn and incorporate it into my practices as well. All of that being said, this podcast is a powerful way to use audio storage, pay monthly for the storage, and then start again each month with new storage capacity. And it's so interesting because although I don't have all of the physical files on me because I try to make space on my devices after by deleting them, they're out there in the internet like forever. So it's really cool that I can access these things via YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Podcast, etc., etc. So it's really fascinating to me how they set up these different systems. So that's just a mini rant about storage and the future of storage, and part of the reason why I'm so grateful for this podcast. In addition to that, I wanted to also include a little cookie crumb trail of all of the things we've created together over the years, because time flies. In 2017, we started Savvy Sisters Media, a digital marketing agency that was pioneered out of the possibilities of what can be created with Wi-Fi and a powerful will. And from there, we supported numerous small businesses. We were a sponsor of TEDx Dover. And it was just so exciting and exhilarating about how fast we moved when we hit the ground running and had a fabulous team to support us in all that we were co-creating together. And from there, over time, it evolved into many different facets of this future of digital technology. So one of the directions was something we called Intratext, that was standing for interactive text, that won the University of Delaware Henhatch competition and gained startup funding to participate in a startup incubator called Venture On within the University of Delaware's entrepreneurship program. And from there, Intratext transformed to MEEP, which over the years has evolved into meditative experiences, evolving our purpose. This acronym that is the foundation for the principles in which we are using our digital technology as a tool to transform and find alignment within each of our unique purposes for being here. And from that, it has now evolved to just living in the moment and being so free. And the domain that I am now using to also channel to this same website is Energy XP, ENERGIXP, to be standing for energy experience, in that there is this exchange of energy in everything that we do. And when speaking of energy, my inner energy educator as a master Reiki teacher comes out in that every single thing is in exchange of energy. And when you think about the foundations of physics and what must go up comes down, there's always this interconnectedness of all that we do. So it felt very aligned to make the domain of the website Energy Experience, because it is an experience, and I'm constantly updating this website so it feels like this immersive experience and that it can be tailored to each unique visitor. So currently there are the different elements of the universe on the page: water, air, earth, fire, and ether, as well as an interactive welcome type form. So you can put in your name, so it's very personalized, and then you can click through and select what resonates with you. So if you're just looking for resources, there's oodles and oodles of information. And if you want something more tailored and custom for your personal soul journey, then you can book a session and we can work one-on-one. And from there, there's so many things we can do, from consultations to sound massage to Reiki sessions to card readings, astrology, you name it, it's possible, and we can do it together. So it's very, very exciting to me, and I'm just grateful for this moment of pause to reflect on everything that evolved and brought us here to this moment. And this podcast has not only been a platform for me to have these real talk conversations and stream of consciousness and reflect on all of our growth and transformation over this time, but it is also this platform for us to connect and have these real conversations together. So if there is a topic that you're passionate about, someone that you want to hear their perspectives and views and clues on life, let's continue the conversation so we can bring that to life, because this is not only a storage platform, but it is a platter of possibilities for us to put out into the world and continue these conversations. So some of the things on the horizon that I'm really passionate about is the foundation of well care of each of us as individuals. And it's something that we've touched upon on the in the past. However, I am only functioning at this high level of capacity because I am prioritizing my personal foundation, and that includes sleep. It includes hydration. It includes nourishment and living in harmony with Mother Nature. And it is such a gift. And I feel so called to share my secrets and rituals with anyone that is open and ready to receive. And upon this reflection, using social media has taught me so many things as to what roadblocks we're putting up in front of ourselves. And that's another reason why I love this audio connection as a way to take action and really speak from this passionate part inside of me. Because when I twiddle my thumbs on social media, it's not always getting my message across in the ways that it feels inside. And even if I do a video, etc., it might not be delivered, it might just be blocked or whatever. And in reflecting on everything that we've created since 2017 with Savvy Sisters Media, I updated the handle because we dissolved the business, so it felt outdated to keep the handle Savvy Sisters Media. So I changed the handle on Instagram to Evolving Social Media, and along the way, Instagram deactivated this account, and I cannot tell you how many tears I have shed over the years of the soul searching and putting into this content to make it this beautiful curated feed with all of these guest posts and special features, etc. It was like my heart and soul was on that feed, and it's gone. And of course, I went through all the actions to reactivate the account. I'm sure it's in some cloud somewhere, but the clouds that I have access to and I'm looking at in the sky, it's not there. So I have surrendered my need to retrieve this, and if it's meant to be, it will be. But for anyone that has seen the feed before, it was gone. It was filled with love and a lot of passion and beautiful colors, and just, it was amazing. And the fact that it's gone emphasizes to me the importance of being present and clear in what we are doing and creating and why. Because if it gets gone, if it disappears in a moment, then why did I spend years creating that and putting that together? And I know everything happens for a reason and made me who I am today, and now I, etc. But it's just sad that there is nothing to physically show for that. And I did, get a couple screenshots along the way, and it's probably in a separate cloud or a separate drive or something. And this rant is so real, and that's why I call this podcast the Real Talk with Me podcast. And I know there's a lot of other Real Talk podcasts out there, and I appreciate and admire everyone for speaking their real truth and putting their voice on the line. And that's part of the reason why podcasts are so powerful, because everyone has a microphone now. There's no barriers to entry. There are some, yes. I'm not on the top Apple charts or whatever for podcasts, but I still can put my voice out there and trust that it is being delivered to those that need it when they need it, including myself, because I re-listen to these, and it's so awakening to hear my voice, to hear the background noises of where I was, the cars, the trees, the wind, the birds. It's mind-blowing. So in the utmost gratitude for all of the triumphs and tribulations along the way, I know that each of the experiences that have been a part of my past have made me who I am today. And I look forward to continuing to create strong foundations that will not be shook by big tech deleting my stuff, because it's just stuff. And I know that I have the foundation within me to create this concrete foundation together with our communities, and not concrete in the way of like the sidewalk, but strong in the way of the root system in the forest that will not be taken down, that will be connected and nourish each other the way that the universe created us to. And on that note, I trust that no matter what storms weather, our root system is so deep, is so interconnected, and so strong that there might be lightning, there might be hurricanes and tornadoes, and our leaves might fall off, some branches might break, and there might be some collateral damage, but our forests and trees will remain standing tall and continuing to grow after the storm. So with that, I invite us to take a deep cleansing breath, inhaling universal life force energy, feeling the capacity to be full, exhaling and letting it all go. Thank you, universe, for guiding me on this journey. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to who? Thank you. I send our loving light throughout the dimensions of time and space and universe. I'm so grateful for all of the gifts that have been given and will continue to cycle their ripple effects of love throughout everything. Looking up at the trees, I am so grateful for everything above me. As above, so below. I do not need to know where it all goes. I trust that we are all here for a divine time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho, aho, aho. Namaste.